Hi, this is Donna Smith Bellinger, your Business Revenue Accelerator, coming at you once again with your Friday Focus Sales video tip. It has been a wonderful week, and January was a really terrific month. I wrapped up my January speaking to a group of mechanical engineers and other people in science and engineering, and also talking to women business owners about how to accelerate their businesses, their revenue, their online and offline conversations. So I really look forward to having a moment to have these chats with you every Friday because it gives me a chance to kind of share some of the observations of the week, and perhaps some of the things that I share with you are things that are going to help you to have a much greater month and a much greater week just by helping you to shift your focus a little bit. So I want you to remember that I don't want you to be that person who works just hard enough not to get fired. I want you to remember that this is the business of you, and the whole point of this is to create the type of revenue and business that you are looking for. January is behind us. January is now behind us, so I want you to take a moment, open up your calendar, pull it up on your computer, pull it out of your briefcase, flip to it on your calendar. I want you to take a look at what you accomplished in January, and I want you to look at it from a couple of different directions. First of all, was it what you needed it to be revenue-wise? Did you create the business that you needed to create? Did you close the business that you needed to close? Do you need some help with that? But actually, I want you to take a look and see, was your calendar just full of meetings and events over and over and over again that did not turn into business? Did you have a whole lot of coffee meetings that could have been phone calls? Did you spend a lot of time trying to force feed your business model, force feed your product, your service down the throats of people that were really not your ideal clients, just so you could say you were out there and you tried? Yeah, I know what that's like. Been there, done that, got the t-shirt. So what I want to do is just remind you that the goal is not to have a month full of pitch fest. All right, that's not what you're looking for. And I need you to remember to build value in all of your conversations. Remember, the goal of any conversation that you have is to get the response, how can we do business together? Or, I have someone I want you to meet. That's what you're looking for. So let me ask you these two questions. Number one, how many referrals did you get? How many people referred you to someone that they know as a trusted expert? And also, how many referrals did you give? How many people did you offer to connect to people in your sphere of influence to help them to grow their businesses? That's all about the value conversation. So as you're going through that calendar, I want you to take a look and think not only, well, these people didn't give me enough business, but how much business did you give to other people as well? That's your value. So let's consider now how we can focus a little bit more. And I got to pull up my notes because I want to make sure that we run through this rather quickly. And I want you to consider things that you can do in order to have a sharper focus in February than you did in January. So the three things we're going to be talking about this time are going to be the differentiating between prospects, influencers, and decision makers. Because if you had a calendar full of meaningless meetings, you don't know the difference. I don't care what book you read. I don't care what you've tried. I don't care whose videos you've been watching or whose podcasts you've been going into. If you've got a calendar full of meetings that did not turn into some type of a good opportunity that's going to close and help shorten your sales cycle, then we need to revisit what these three things are and what they're going to mean to you. Now, if you work in a larger firm, then you understand the whole premise of a sales pipeline. If you're working for yourself or you're following some of the other gurus in sales, then sometimes they talk about pipelines, funnels, what have you. In a larger firm, what that means is you've got the farmers, that's what some people call them, the people who go out and find leads and qualify leads. And then they turn them over to the next level of focus or concentration. And these are the inside reps that take the time to kind of cultivate them and build up the relationship and that kind of a thing. And then they send them to the closers. I'm not a real big fan of that model, but it still happens a lot. And you know, because every time you get on the phone with one of these automated attendants, they run you through their particular cycle. So how warm are you? Did you call in order to transfer your services, get new services, this, that, and the other? You know, do you need this? Do you need that? Press 9, press 4, what have you. If you're working for yourself, if you are responsible for, you only eat what you kill, and I've talked about that before, then you have to be able to move through all of these processes quickly. You need to learn how to read people. You need to be able to read conversations so that you can tell if you are talking to a prospect, an influencer, or a decision maker. Donna, what are these people? I'm glad you asked. So the wide view, if you're thinking about a camera or a panoramic view, the wide view is the prospect. And the prospect is someone who has general interest. Okay, you bump into them someplace, you talk about what you do, you listen to what they do, and their eyes did not immediately glaze over. Okay, that's a maybe. But it would need to be developed a little bit. Now let's zoom in a little bit closer. Ooh, what do we spot? Off on the horizon, we've got an influencer. Now, the influencers are people who are so valuable in your sales cycle because these are the people who can introduce you to the key players. Depending upon how complex your sales cycle is, there are a lot of people that you have to meet before you can close the sale. You need to meet the people who are going to be actually using your product or service. You need to talk to the people who are going to be affected by your product or service. And then there's the structural stuff. Who's going to be the leader in this? Who's going to be the person who handles the billing? What is their process and their buying cycle like? And then you get to the mecca, the decision maker. And the decision maker is the person who signs off on it. This is the person who pulls the trigger to get you to that revenue goal you're looking for. If you spent too much time in meetings that don't go anywhere and you make your pitch and now they're saying, well, you know what, that sounds really good and I really like it, but I need to take it to Screech. Wait, you need to take it to somebody? You're an influencer. You're an influencer. So great, when I get ready to go through my whole great big pitch, I need to make sure that everybody involved in the decision-making process is at the table because you don't want to trust them to tell your story for you. If you've ever played that little game, you know what I'm talking about. You don't want to pass it to them, they pass it to somebody else. Doesn't work. So this week, I want you to take a look at the people that you've been stalking. I said it. The people you've been stalking. I want you to determine if these are prospects, influencers, or decision makers. All right? It may vary, but I want you to just check your focus and make sure that you're talking with the right conversation to the right person. Okay? Terrific. Got questions? I'm your girl. Contact at DonnaSmithBellinger.com. And I wish you continued success. This is Donna Smith Bellinger, your Business Revenue Accelerator. www.DonnaSmithBellinger.com. Make it a really great and productive week. See you next week.